Most married couples make their Social Security decision maybe using the wrong math. Not because they're bad at math, it's because almost every calculator online is often solving the wrong problem. It starts with showing you the break even age, the benefit, lifetime payout for this person, but retirement doesn't always happen just looking at one isolated situation or one person alone. If we think about, for most folks, we need to think about this on a household level. When you look at it, Social Security through the lens of a married couple instead of just an individual, the answer can be completely changed. In some cases, claiming later creates hundreds of thousands of dollars of additional lifetime income. In other cases, delaying can actually hurt your retirement plan. And there are four factors that almost nobody talks about when it comes to this decision. So, with survivor benefits, we need to think also about taxes, portfolio withdrawals, and household cash flow. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through the Social Security math that most married couples never easily see and explain why focusing on the single break even age may not be giving you always the full picture. Hi, I'm Chris Knight with Cornerstone Wealth Planning. The reality is that most couples aren't making this individual decision, but they should be making this in light of a total family decision when they're claiming Social Security benefits. And understanding this distinction can change everything about how you approach this important decision. Ultimately, if you'd like help running your own numbers, then I've included a link in the description where you can schedule a free call with our team at Cornerstone Wealth Planning. We don't just look at Social Security in isolation or just one benefit versus the other, but we look at this as a household, while also coordinating this alongside your taxes, your investments, your retirement income needs, healthcare planning, and your estate goals. We bring all of this into one integrated retirement plan that's built around your specific situation. Okay, let's begin and look at the math and understand what we should look at. So, factor one, the break even calculation is often incomplete. So, break even age is a concept that most people talk about as it relates to Social Security. Maybe you've heard this. If you claim at 62, you'll get less money. But if you wait and claim until age 70, you'll get more money. And ultimately, that becomes more money if you live beyond some break even age, let's say age 80, 82, somewhere in that sort of range. Now, sounds reasonable. Most break even calculations that you look at may assume that this is true and factual, but they're also looking at this from a single person claiming standpoint. Now, ultimately, this is really true if you're looking at retirees and they're married. So think about it this way. If you delay Social Security from 67 to 70, then we also have to factor in how we're going to pay our bills, right, without cash flow from Social Security. And we also have to think about the long-term impact of what the step up could be for the surviving spouse if they're going to step into the benefit of the higher spouse, earning spouse, the higher benefit, if that's the one who passes away first. Now let's go back and think about this age 67 to age 70. How do you pay the bills? Usually one of two ways. You either keep working or you withdraw money from your portfolio. So that means that your claiming decision directly affects your investment accounts, your withdrawal rate, your taxes, and your long-term income strategy. So at our firm, one of the first things that we calculate is the difference between what's coming in, what's going out, or also is known as your income gap. So the larger the income gap, the more pressure you're putting on your investments to fund your long-term needs, and so it's going to affect your investment portfolio. And that's where Social Security becomes a powerful planning tool, not to maximize a check, but to solve an income problem. So the question isn't always, what's my break even age? The question often is, that should be asked, how does this decision affect my entire retirement plan? All right, so let's start there. Factor one. Factor two, understanding the survivor benefit could change everything. So now let's talk about the factor that most calculators minimally mention, and this is survivor benefits. So here's how it works. When one spouse passes away, the surviving spouse will keep the larger of the two Social Security benefits. That smaller benefit will go away completely. So let me say that again. One benefit only between the two will stay. The other one, the smaller one, will go away completely. This means that the higher earner's claiming decision greatly impacts potentially the household income for decades down the road. So let's give this an example. Let's say we have a husband who's entitled to receive $4,000 per month at age 70. The wife would receive from Social Security $2,000 a month. So now together they have the 4 plus the 2, which is $6,000 per month. Unfortunately, let's say if the husband dies first, then what will happen here is the wife's own benefit of $2,000 per month will go away completely, but the higher benefit, the husband's benefit, will become her benefit, the $4,000 per month, and that will be her survivor benefit that she will retain for the rest of her life. So this reduction lasts for the surviving spouse's entire lifetime. And so when we work with clients, we always want to tell them this, that the higher lifetime earner's decision is not just about them. It is very much a survivor planning decision. In many cases, delaying the higher earner's benefit creates one of the largest guaranteed income increases that's available throughout retirement, not by maximizing their own benefit, but by protecting their spouse. This is one reason blanket advice like always claim early or always wait till full retirement age or age 70 is not looking at the full picture and could even backfire depending upon what happens long term. So the answer depends on the household, not the individual. And situations and scenarios like this is exactly the kind of analysis we want to walk through with clients at Cornerstone Wealth Planning. If you'd like to see how survivor planning fits into your strategy, click the link in the description and schedule your free call today. All right, let's move on to factor number 3. And this is the tax trap that most couples miss. So let's talk about an unfortunate topic, which is taxes. Now, Social Security decisions don't happen in a vacuum. A claiming decision can shape your tax strategy for years to come. And here's what many retirees don't realize. The years between retirement and Social Security claiming could also be some of the most valuable tax planning years of your life. You may have lower income, lower tax brackets, and real opportunities for significant planning strategies such as Roth conversions or 0% capital gain usage or many other options that could be on the table. But once Social Security starts, things get a lot more complicated. Additional income can increase the taxation of your benefits, they can affect your Medicare premiums, and reduce your planning flexibility overall. So we never evaluate Social Security in pure isolation. Instead, we want to ask, would claiming now reduce portfolio withdrawals? Would delaying create more room for Roth conversions? Would waiting increase future survivor income? Would claiming earlier reduce sequence of returns risk? And often the right answer isn't the one producing the biggest monthly paycheck. It's the one that produces the best after-tax outcome over your lifetime. All right, this brings us to factor number 4, the household math that really matters. So here's the Social Security math that most married couples never really think about. The goal isn't maximizing a benefit. It's maximizing long-term retirement outcomes. Let me show you the difference. Let's say delaying Social Security increases your benefit by $1,000 a month. That can sound great, but what if delaying forces you to withdraw this additional, let's say $150,000 or $200,000 from your investment accounts during a market downturn? Now, what if those withdrawals increase your portfolio risk, they create financial stress, or they force you to spend less during your healthiest retirement years? Now, the answer is not so obvious. On one hand, what if delaying increases your survivor income significantly? That's a benefit. What if you have substantial assets, you don't need the income today? Then that's another reason here to think about this. And what if longevity runs in your family? Well, delaying can certainly make a lot of sense. But you see, with every decision, there's trade-offs that we must factor in. Income today versus income later. Taxes now versus taxes later, some portfolio preservation versus the guaranteed income, and flexibility versus certainty. So the right answer depends on how all of these variables interact together. So if you're married, and you're trying to decide when to claim, then here's maybe perhaps a good framework that I'd encourage you to follow. Step 1, let's identify the higher lifetime earner, in which most cases this person's decision has the greatest impact on long-term household income overall for a survivor scenario. Step 2, Let's calculate your income gap. Determine how much of your retirement spending must be covered from the investments versus your guaranteed income from Social Security, pension, or other guaranteed sources. Step 3, evaluate survivor outcomes. I can't stress this enough. Don't just ask what happens if I live a long time. Ask what happens if one of us passes away. Step 4, now coordinate taxes and withdrawals on the Social Security and other income sources. Look at Social Security alongside Roth conversions, investment withdrawals, Medicare planning, and your overall tax strategy. Step 5, let's stress test this plan. Can your portfolio support delayed claiming if markets decline? Could it support earlier claiming if longevity becomes a key factor for you long term? And the biggest Social Security mistake that married couples make is treating this as an individual benefit optimization exercise. It's simply not. It's much more of a household planning decision, a survivor planning decision, a worst case scenario decision, a tax planning decision, income planning decision, and often the best answer has very little to do with just a traditional break-even calculation of one benefit. Because the ultimate goal is building a retirement plan that gives you complete confidence. This confidence that your income will last, your spouse will be protected, you're making decisions based on your complete financial picture. So if you'd like help building this kind of plan, we put together a process that helps retirees connect all the moving pieces into a simple one-page retirement blueprint. We'll look at your assets, your liabilities, your income, your expenses, the withdrawal rate long-term, Social Security claiming strategies, tax opportunities, and retirement income plan. So I recommend booking your free call using the link in the description below, and we'll help you see how to put together all these pieces for your long-term retirement. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.